You're listening to the Balanced Educator Podcast, episode number 64. Welcome to the Balanced Educator. We're your hosts, Kaylee
and Josiane from EduCalm. Our intention is to equip and empower you to feel more calm, balanced, and joyful in all aspects of your life.
Hello there. So maybe you're thinking about starting mindfulness practice in your classroom and you're not sure how long it's going to take before your students sort of catch on. Or maybe you've actually started a mindfulness practice already and you're thinking, I don't know if they're actually getting anything out of this yet. On today's episode, we're going to be talking about the mindfulness learning curve and what this practice looks like over time. Before we get into it, we just want to thank you for being here. We appreciate you so much, and we feel so honored that you are part of this community of mindful educators that are coming together and changing the world. If you're brand new to the show, welcome. We're so happy that you're here, and we invite you to right away, before you put your phone in your pocket or put it down, hit that subscribe button so that you get our episodes every week when they come out. All right, let's get into it.
All right, so Kaylee, what is the mindfulness learning curve?
So lots of people wonder when they're first starting the practice, like, are my students actually getting it? Like, they're not sitting completely still. They don't want to close their eyes. They might be fidgeting. Like, maybe they're not getting anything out of it.
And newsflash, we felt that way at the start too.
Exactly. I remember when I first started teaching this practice in my classroom, it was after I had my own mindfulness practice. So I knew that as an adult, mindfulness looked like sitting still, being quiet, having my eyes closed, and that for myself, when I did all of these things, it helped me to get into this calm state where I felt really good. I felt like my stress was being just melted, and it helped me to be more creative, think more clearly, and really I just felt like it was helping me to be the best version of myself.
But we all know it does not look like that with kids.
It does not. But in the beginning, I thought it was supposed to. So in the beginning, I kind of felt like the mindfulness police when I first started saying, okay, shh, okay, we're not talking during this time. Stop fidgeting. Make sure you're not making noise.
Which is not realistic.
It isn't realistic. Kids have lots of energy. That's just how they are. And so they are going to fidget. They are going to move around a little bit. And my eyes were really opened in the first year that I ever taught mindfulness in my classroom, when a few months into it, all of a sudden I had a couple students that, to me, I thought they weren't into it. I was like, they're not really participating. They're not really liking it. They're not getting it. And then all of a sudden I would see them do something that they had learned from our mindfulness practice. Like I would catch them taking a deep breath when I could tell they were starting to feel overwhelmed. I would catch them just, instead of reacting in a situation, say with a peer, they were getting into a bit of an argument or something, they would take a deep breath and they would walk away, take a couple seconds before coming back. And then I realized, like, oh, they're doing the things that we're practicing.
They are learning it.
Yeah.
Yes.
Or, my favorite story was that first year that I was teaching it, and there was just one student that I really thought was not getting it. And I had their parent let me know at parent teacher that they actually thanked me. Thank you so much for doing mindfulness in class. My child has actually been teaching us mindfulness at home now. And when my child sees that I'm stressed and overwhelmed, they tell me that I should take a deep breath and that it'll help me to feel better.
Meanwhile, you're like, what? Like, where's this coming out of, right? Because this kid you're thinking is not participating in class.
And really, they are getting it. And that's when I recognized that I kind of see this as mindfulness is kind of like osmosis. So it's kind of like whether they're sitting still or not, they're soaking it all in their own way. And I also had the experience of like the very first time I tried a mindfulness practice in my classroom with my students, I did all the things wrong. I tried doing it when they were really excited and having a hard time calming down. And I hadn't taught them any of these strategies before. And all of a sudden I tried to get them to go right into a 10-minute mindfulness practice. And that was just too much for them.
And that's too much for an adult too at the start.
It is.
Most of the time.
Yeah. We always recommend to teachers when we're giving professional development workshops and teaching about how to start mindfulness, I always say start with one breath. Just one breath every morning after you finish brushing your teeth until you get into the habit of taking one deep breath and then build on that. And so, yeah, after that first time that I tried practicing mindfulness with my students, I was like, they don't get it. It doesn't work. And the reality is they're learning a little bit over time, and they need enough time to practice it several times over and over and over before you start seeing results. So what did mindfulness look like in your classroom, Joe, this year? Did they catch on right away? Did it seem like they were getting it right away? Or did it seem like, what was your impression?
Some were on board from the very beginning. Some were somewhere in the middle, and some were not on board at all. And still to this day, so I've been working with this class now for how long? 7 months? Almost 8 months. Still to this day, I have about 2 students who don't like it, who will say it out loud. They don't like it, they don't want to do it, and they don't want to participate. But what's interesting is I am noticing that they are participating during that time. So even though they're kind of too cool for it, they're still in it. And I'm still noticing that it is helping them to feel more calm and ready to learn after the practice. So maybe even if they're not learning a million different breathing strategies, it's still helping their brains to be ready to learn.
Yes. Even just the fact that the whole class is becoming calm, that's lowering their body's stress response, whether it seems like they're totally into the practice or whether it seems like they're not, they are getting that calming effect of the calm classroom atmosphere.
And I'm really starting to see, I've been seeing it for a while now, but I'm really starting to see the effects of it spilling out into just the day-to-day, which is amazing. But this didn't happen from one day to the next. This has been such a gradual process. And also remembering that I'm only there half time. Mm-hmm. I know the other teacher does it too, but I'm not there to see exactly how it goes. Mm-hmm. And I'm seeing progress. I'm seeing them use their strategies, but it's so gradual.
Yeah. And that's when I really like to remind teachers too that when we're teaching mindfulness, it's just like anything else we teach in the classroom. We wouldn't expect our students to learn all of their times tables the first time we teach it. It's something that needs to be practiced over and over and over until it becomes a skill. And the same is true with mindfulness. They're not going to all of a sudden start using breathing strategies when they're feeling overwhelmed after doing it only once. They have to practice it over and over and over until it becomes just a skill that's part of who they are. It's in their brain, and it's something that they can use now in the moment when they need it.
This is a lesson that we learned, was to stick to it. It's so important not to give up and stick with it, because through time we see so much positive change in our students. So if you're not seeing the progress right away, trust us.
Just keep doing it.
Stick with it.
Yeah.
It is so worth it, and great things come from it.
Yeah. And if you're in it right now and you're thinking, I'm having a hard time having them all be settled and be quiet, just remember that that's not necessary. Okay. It's not necessary that they're all quiet. In my classroom, I have very high energy students. And so, most of them are moving. Most of them are rocking on a chair, fidgeting with something in their hands. Maybe twice a week we'll have a practice where no one talks the whole time, but most of the time there's 1 or 2 kids that whisper something at some point. maybe a quarter to half the students close their eyes. The rest have their eyes open and just seem to be looking around. And yet, when I check in with them about how it's going, what are you learning from Educom? How is it helping you? Then all of a sudden, they're telling me all these things of ways that it's helping them and how much they like it. And I'm like, wait, it doesn't seem like you like it. You never close your eyes. You're looking around. It seems like you're not really taking it in, but they're telling me that they're taking it in. And I think that's something that's really important too, is if you're wondering, is this useful? Are my students learning things? Ask them, have a meeting with them and ask the class, how is it going for you? What are you learning?
And what did they say when you asked them? We have your students, we took videos and they said like the most amazing things.
Yeah.
But one of them here stands out to me, and go ahead, you can share it.
So I had one student that, like I said, didn't seem like they were really into it. It seemed like I don't know if they ever actually closed their eyes. I often had to remind them not to talk during the practice. And I really thought that this student wasn't really getting much from the practices. And then when I asked this student what they thought about Educom, if it was helping them, and I didn't guide to say, like, you have to say that you like it. I just said, what are you learning from Educom? And they said, it's easier to learn when I'm not feeling stressed and agitated. Educom calms me down and helps me learn. It helps me to deal with big emotions, and it helps me get through hard things. And when I heard that, I was just like, wow, okay. It's not about how it looks on the outside. I don't know what's going on inside my students' heads. I don't know what they're absorbing. And the only way for me to know if it's quote unquote working is to actually check in with them and actually ask them. And this student, we do a morning meeting, a sharing circle after Educom every day. My question is usually, how did the practice go today? Or what did you learn? Or I'll take something specific from that practice and ask them about it. And, sharing in front of the whole class, this student didn't share things that made me think that they were really taking a lot away from it. But as soon as I was one-on-one with this student and asking what they learned, then all of a sudden, all these beautiful things came out.
That, but also we often see it when we're not asking them. Like, for example, you shared with me a little story about a student during a math center the other day, which I loved. So I think you should share it with you guys, our audience. But yeah, so it's some students, it's they're telling us, but a lot of students were actually seeing it come to life, right?
You kind of just observe it from afar and you go, oh, they used the breathing strategy, or
oh my goodness, such a nice moment.
So we were doing a math center and one of my students was getting really frustrated that they weren't understanding what they were supposed to do. And one of their peers, one of the other students that was in that same group for the math center, said, oh, you're getting really frustrated. You should try 5-finger breathing right now. It'll really help you calm down. And I just loved how it came from that student as like, I have great advice for you. If you do 5-finger breathing, it'll really help you calm down, as though, they were sharing it so authentically, as though it was theirs that they were sharing, not like, we do 5-finger breathing almost every day in class, but yet that student was sharing it as a tool that they could help their peer with, their friend with.
And did it help?
It did. It did. And then that student was like, oh, yeah, okay. So all 3 of us did 5-finger breathing together. And then I checked in. Okay, how are you feeling now? I'm feeling a little bit better. Okay, are you ready to try this problem again? Yeah, I'm feeling ready. So, and it, I've seen it countless times where one of the students reminds another one, okay, take a deep breath.
And speaking of 5-finger breathing, we just received this amazing message on Instagram, and I just want to share it.
Go for it.
She says, I'm a grade 4 teacher and I've been listening to the podcast and following your company for the past year or so, but we hadn't actually tried the guided mindfulness practices until today. So we've been having a tough time with some bullying of kiddos and honestly just a stressful time with a new math project. And the kiddos are doing that the kiddos are doing, and they're actually, they're really stressed out about it. So today we did the 5-finger breathing. And afterwards, the kids were so calm, she says in capitals, and focused. Even my kids who struggle to get to focus managed to accomplish their task for our math period today. So, and then she just thanked us for doing what we do. And it just, this little message just made my heart melt.
We love hearing how you guys are using these tools in your classroom. We know how much it's helped us. So when we can hear that it's helping you and more specifically how it's helping, I mean, obviously we want to help you, but how it's affecting your students, it's just, it makes us feel so good.
And we want to share with you, we've got our Introduction to Mindfulness, which is the first module in EduCalm Classroom. We want to share it for free. So if you want to get started with mindfulness in your classroom, kind of dip your toes, where can they go, Kaylee?
Go to podcast.educalm.com and then click on episode number 64. We'll have it there for you so you can enroll and you can try this practice out in your classroom yourself. 5-minute guided audio mindfulness practices in both English and French. So you can choose whichever or both languages that you want to use. And then we also have printables so that you can print out the student worksheet and it asks them questions about the specific practices. So after the first practice, you can have them reflecting on it and it'll give you a chance to see what they're learning.
And the lesson today is don't give up.
Yes.
Like work through this.
Yeah.
With time, you will see a change, a positive change.
Yes. Just like
and
anything.
Growth and expansion
Yes.
and all the good things we want to see in our students.
Yeah. Just like anything you do in your classroom, you know, you don't expect your students to be able to read overnight. It's something that you keep working with them because you know it's a skill that's going to help them in their lives.
We are so happy that we chose to stick it out because we are really seeing, can we say a return on that investment now?
Yeah. With my class this year, it took a very long time for them to get to the point that they could be silent for the whole practice. It was months into it. And on the day that they were silent the whole time, we had a party. After the practice, I was like, oh my gosh, guys, we went the whole time and no one talked even once. And we were all so excited and they were so proud of themselves. And, you know, that was part of the growth. That was part of what they were learning, was being able to focus for 5 minutes straight. Amazing. So it didn't look from the outside like it was a perfect practice, but what I learned from checking in with my students and observing them over time is that over the months that we were together, you know, in the moment, in that day, it might not have looked perfect, but if I zoom out and look at the months, they improved little by little, slowly over time.
Okay, you're being modest. They were different kids by the time you left.
It was really great to see their transformation. It really was. And I know that it was this mindfulness practice that really, really helps them to grow.
It's the daily focus on their social emotional development, getting them ready to learn in the right state. So important.
Yeah. Exactly. It was really our anchor and our foundation for everything else that we did in class. And because we took those 5 minutes every morning to do our mindfulness practice, whether it looked perfect or not, that everything that they were learning there moved into relationships. At the beginning of the year, there were a lot of conflicts. I was dealing with lots of conflicts after every single recess. Over time, they were getting better at resolving their own conflicts, at knowing what to do when they were feeling overwhelmed. And in terms of academics too, it made such a difference what they were learning in the mindfulness practice. And then those skills we were bringing into, you know, when I was teaching, we were bringing them into transitions. We were bringing them to every area of what we were doing in class together. And that allowed their brain to be ready to learn. It helped them to focus more. It really helped them to flourish academically as well.
And to have that self-regulation during class time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Exactly. And one more thing I want to add too is that
One more thing
was that as I was leaving, I got a lot of feedback from parents and from students letting me know how much they appreciated that I was doing this practice with them and how it helped them to feel connected to me. And because for this class, I came in on a term position, so it was really hard for them and scary for them to have lost the teacher they thought they were going to have throughout the year, a couple weeks into school, and then having this new teacher come in, it was very overwhelming for them. And the fact that we did this practice together, it made them feel more connected to me. It made them trust me. It gave them the chance to show them their true selves to me. And the fact that I was able to make a connection, a deep connection with them on the social emotional side, made everything else easier. A student isn't going to learn from a teacher that they don't trust.
Relationship is so important.
Yeah. And this
is a great way to build it.
Exactly. It was an integral part. So I definitely credit the Educom classroom mindfulness practice to the growth and the outcomes that I saw in my classroom.
Okay, so if you want to try out Educom Classroom, you kind of want to just dip your toes, remember to check out the intro to mindfulness. And where can they find that, Kaylee?
Go to podcast.educalm.com and then click on episode number 64.
And it'll be right there for you in the show notes.
We hope that you try it out, that you enjoy it. Let us know how it goes.
And stick to it.
And stick to it. Absolutely.
Have an awesome week.
Bye. Hey there, balanced educator. We understand the challenge and stress of trying to meet your students' diverse social, emotional, and academic needs. Thankfully, we found mindfulness, which helped us create a calm, well-managed learning environment, improving both our students and our own well-being. Teachers are busy, so we created an online bilingual English and French mindfulness program made especially for the classroom that is ready to use. No prep required. Just press play and enjoy returning to calm as you listen to the 5-minute guided mindfulness practices with your students. Then you can take the concrete self-regulation strategies that you and your students are learning into your regular teaching curriculum with our beautiful, inclusive printables. Thrive in a calm learning atmosphere. We want to set you up for success, so for a limited time, we're offering an extended membership to Educom Classroom. Enroll before June 15th, 2019, and you'll have access to all the content until June 30th of 2020. This means you can play with the program this year and feel confident and ready to get started with your students right away next school year. We have 2 payment options to suit your needs. You can pay by check by emailing bonjour@educalm.com and we'll send you an invoice. Bonjour is spelled BONJOUR @educalm.com. Or you can pay online with a credit card by going to www.educalm.com/classroom. Educalm is spelled EDUCALME. So again, that's educalm.com/classroom. We're so excited for you to join our amazing community of caring, mindful, superstar teachers that are changing the world, one Educalm classroom practice at a time.